All right, how's it going, everybody? This is our first official food review with the Squid Kids, me, Bo Chow, and Vachana right here. So today we're doing Red Lobster. Vachana, do you remember the first time you've ever gone to Red Lobster?
I was a little boy.
Same thing. I was a little boy too, and I remember the exact moment. We were going down to Florida for Disneyland.
Oh shit.
I went with my mom, right? So we get to Red Lobster and she orders something and the waitress asks me what I want. I go, I want the steak and lobster. and the look on this waitress's face seeing me as I think I was like 8 or 10 or something like that. Eating, she was like she was absolutely shocked. She like asked me 3 times if I was sure I wanted that or not. I said yes, and believe it or not, I crushed that. I did win some money at the casino this weekend, so we might have to go steak and lobster again. And then, of course, multiple biscuits, because that's really what they're known for. I don't think they're really known for anything else but biscuits.
I think so.
Maybe like unlimited seafood or something like that. But all right, let's go in and we'll see how it goes.
From the Squid Kids.
Okay, so here we are. We just crushed some Red Lobster. And I think we're just going to go down and see what we thought for all the food that we got.
We will rate everything individually, and then we'll give a final rating on
the whole restaurant, the whole experience,
yes.
Yeah, at the end. So let's start off with the biscuits.
Yes.
So let me just say my opinion. I think they've never been bad, and they're still the best free bread I've gotten at a restaurant.
This is true. I agree with that. It was nice, buttery. It was moist, not too dry, but biscuits tend to be dry by nature. But it was all right. It was the texture, the moisture was fine.
You did bring up a good point about the cheddarness of the biscuits.
I didn't get much of the cheddar. That was a big thing.
I'll be honest, the first one I got had a lot of cheddar, but all the other rest were not
so cheddary.
Cheddary.
It was more garlicky than cheddar.
Yes, which I love, but
yes.
I feel like they might have been skipping on the cheddar.
Maybe. I think so. It's just, I remember them being more cheddary.
Yeah. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we just got like the early batch or something like that, but I would give it 4.5 squids. That's pretty. If it had more cheddar,
4.4 you said.
If it had more cheddar, it would get that full 5. Because that's how, like, when we ate it, you can hear the sound you're making. True. Yeah. Yes. And the flavor was there minus the cheddar. But if you're big on the cheddar, you might be disappointed.
So because there's a lack of cheddar, there is my biggest disappointment about the biscuits as a whole. As biscuits, it's a really good quality biscuit, so when I have to factor in the lack of cheddar taste and the addition of cheddar, I'm gonna have to give it a 3.6 squid.
Ooh, you are destroying the cheddar.
That's how much the cheddar means to me.
Okay, so if it had more cheddar,
if it had more cheddar, it would have been more like a 4.5.
4.5. Yes. Okay,
so it gets a full point off because it wasn't cheddar.
Yeah. Okay, understandable. Okay, so let's move on to the
coconut shrimp. It was fried coconut shrimp with, I guess, coconut shreddings on it. Deep fried, and a little breading, a little batter, and also with a, what they call it, the
pina colada
sauce, which is like a little sweet sauce with like some fruit in it, maybe pineapple.
I'll say that sauce made the dish much more.
But I think that's the shrimp by itself too. It's really solid. If you just like a nice regular fried shrimp.
So I don't think we need to go too much into it, but
I don't think so.
What would you give that on a rating? I think you said it was a pretty high rating. You enjoyed it.
That's pretty good. The shrimp was a good quality. It wasn't rubbery. It was cooked well. The temperature of the shrimp was cooked to a good point. And it was soft. I would give it 3.3 squids.
Okay, 3.3 squids. So you enjoyed it actually less than the biscuits, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I love bread and biscuits.
So I would actually rate it a lot higher because I've had it before.
Yeah.
So I actually thought they did this much better than they did before. Because your point about the rubbery shrimp.
Yes,
there's no you could bite through.
Cooked really well, and the shrimp was good.
You could bite through cleanly. Nothing,
no
pushback at all. So I would actually give it a 4 because that with the sauce actually made it a very good combination.
I'm actually let me recall my ratings.
Okay, you're going back.
Because the thing was I didn't want to give the shrimp a better rating than the biscuits.
Okay,
the biscuits are really good. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give the biscuits a 3.8.
Okay.
I'll give the shrimp a 3.7.
Okay, just slightly below the biscuit.
Just because I like bread and biscuits more than like shrimp and shrimp because I'm not a seafood person.
Okay, all right then.
But as shrimp goes, I tolerate shrimp pretty well, and it was a good exclusive shrimp.
That's true. That's right. I forgot you weren't a big seafood guy.
I'm not a big seafood person.
Okay, so next thing would be your soup.
Oh, the soup. I got a soup. It was loaded potato and bacon soup. Texture-wise, it was fine. It seems to be a little drippy, but not too bad. Not very watery. Not like Panera soup. Panera soup can be pretty watery. Not like that. So it was a little more solid. Good chunks of potato and bacon. The soup itself, the base, had a nice fatty bacon taste, which was a nice touch. My issue was some parts of the potato was a little not cooked well enough.
Yes.
So you get not like a real raw potato snap, but you do get a little bit of a potato snap. I would have to give it a 3 squids.
3 squids.
Actually,
average.
If I were to go back and if I would want soup again, I would not get it from there. I'm gonna take actually 2.7.
2.7. Okay, so it's going low.
It is fine.
I think if you had tried it with
fine
biscuit as the dipping, you might have actually enjoyed it.
It would have been better, yes, because bread, everything is always better. Let's be honest.
That's true. I can't deny that.
All right.
All right.
Well, let me do my pasta first, because yours,
go
yours
for
much
the pasta.
more forward. I had very simple, like I said before. I don't do shrimp. I don't do seafood. So I got a Alfredo linguine Cajun chicken pasta. I would say honestly, if you've been to any chain restaurant and you get any kind of white sauce pasta, especially if you think about Cheesecake Factory, they pretty much all taste pretty similar. Like it's a little heavier, it's a little fattier. They did lack a little bit of seasoning. It had nice like herb seasoning, but there's a lack of salt and pepper, which I did have to add myself. I would say the chicken was pretty well done, not too bad. A little moist, not dry, so kind of in between. Your General Mill chain chicken, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's just okay, it's fine. I would do 2 ratings without salt and pepper and after I added salt and pepper.
Sure.
Because that did make a big difference. And because usually with pasta, I don't want to think about adding stuff to it. Because usually it should be true. The pasta should be salted enough. The sauce should be seasoned enough.
Right.
Usually that carries the rest of the pasta for you. You don't have to add in that stuff. So without salt and pepper, I would have to give it a 3.1. With the salt and pepper added on top, it was maybe a 3.4 squids out of 5 squids total.
I'll just throw in, I had that pasta. I did enjoy because it was nice and thick and creamy.
Yes.
Had a good flavor. Definitely could have used, for me, extra pepper at least.
Yeah, actually, I added more pepper than I added salt.
Yes, that's true.
Sure. I just added a little bit of salt just for that little salt taste.
Yeah.
But definitely added more pasta.
Yeah, and didn't need more heat, need more kick.
Need a little extra, a little extra pepper.
Okay.
Nice.
So let me go on to my entree, which is the rock, lobster, and steak, which I would say it's fairly close to their signature dish.
Yeah,
where you would think of Red Lobster, you think of like a surf and turf or something like that.
It was a New York strip.
Yeah, New York strip, 12 ounce. I had the sides as potato and rice pilaf. I'm sorry, broccoli and rice pilaf. Let me just say, I should have gotten fries or something else because that broccoli was the mushiest broccoli I've
You were thinking in a healthy sense, because the steak already in the lobster, you're going to be adding butter. There's going to be the steak is fatty.
I probably had like 10
protein.
biscuits.
Yeah, and usually you want something not heavy to kind of cut it down a little bit.
If the broccoli was done well, like nice and crispy with some cheese on top, like some flakes of cheese, it would have been perfect. But that broccoli was way too mushy. I don't think I ate one piece and I was done.
I looked at the broccoli and it looked like it was microwave.
Yeah, it definitely
Like
wasn't.
one of those, like the grocery store steamed bags. You
No.
just throw it in the microwave.
I think
and
it was
that's
worse than that. They probably just
Oh.
over steamed it or something like that.
Oh.
The rice pilaf was okay. It was a standard, wasn't anything crazy. Standard rice, tasted fine with the butter and the sauce that was the steak seasoning that was on with it, the steak juices and everything. It was bearable, but definitely the sides weren't a great point. On to the steak. So that first bite of steak I had on the side was very tough, but understandable because it's on the edge.
End
A small
pieces
piece
tend to be
and
more
end
over.
piece.
The end pieces tend to be cooked more because it's on the edge. It's more
Yes.
surface area to cook through. Yeah,
Once I started eating more of it,
into the center cuts.
into the center cuts, well cooked, nice and juicy.
They look juicy.
Great with the A1 sauce. I would say
I think for a chain restaurant
for a
steak, it was
chain,
pretty good.
it was
Yeah,
it was
looked
pretty good. Yes,
I
it
had
was
a
pretty
piece.
good.
It was pretty good.
The lobster. Okay, I was very impressed with the presentation,
It did
how
look
it
really
looked.
good.
Yes,
And
nice char
on the top. Like,
nice char
color
on the
was
top.
nice, yeah.
Color was nice.
So it looked like it was steamed and then like thrown on a grill for
Yes,
like, an
like
extra little bit of
steamed
something,
and then
yeah.
thrown on, like reversed onto the grill.
I did notice when you started taking the vest out, it was steamy like,
Yes.
underneath the shell. Like
Yes.
between the shell and the meat, it was steamy. Like, it was
I
hot.
was super impressed with the taste, with the butter. I probably could have put like some pepper or some salt on it, but I don't think I really needed to.
For
I
lobster,
thi-
yeah, it's not.
yeah,
you
it
don't need
was
to.
it was exactly how I wanted it to taste, and that combination with lobster and steak did have a very good combination together. So overall, I'm actually gonna not count the sides into it because sides are always hit and miss. It's really personal preferences. I think some people
You're
like
going
them.
in there for the
Yeah.
main action.
Yeah, you're going in there
know.
for the main action.
The sides are there just for like a little chance to take a little break.
Exactly. Sometimes people want fries. Some people want mashed
Yeah.
potatoes. Some people might like the mushy broccoli if you're crazy or something like that. I don't know. But so I would say overall the dish, the steak and the lobster, I would say it brought it up to about 4.1 squids. Just that in the vacuum.
Ooh, just because of that.
The sides I would say would bring it down, but I'm not gonna include the sides just because I don't think
a hit or miss.
yeah, I don't think it's applicable.
Yeah, sides in general, especially at a chain restaurant, they're just there just because it should be.
But I will say there are some places where the sides will bring up a dish.
That's true.
Like
That's very
I've
true.
had broccoli that like was amazing as a
Yeah,
side.
yeah, no, that's
so,
true.
But in
So,
this case, anything that
4.1,
brings it
yeah.
down, yeah.
So 4.1 is your final rating.
Yeah. So okay.
So I'll start first.
Overall,
Overall, I had we shared the biscuits, the shrimp, I had the soup, and my pasta. Out of 5 squids, I will give it 3.4 squids and 1 octopus tentacle.
okay,
Yes.
okay. So little
A
tentacle
little
action
extra,
there.
little something,
So a little bit. I would so we'll say above average.
Above average, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I had the steak and lobster and the
Oh wait, there's a question I want to address, but you say I want to
Okay,
rate.
well we'll do that afterwards. We'll do that afterwards.
I'll say it before you give your rating. Actually, I don't.
No, we'll go
Whatever,
afterwards. Okay, so I would say it exceeded my expectations with everything, and I would say I give it 4 squids out of 5. Now,
4 squids
I
out
think
of
the reason why we have such a big difference is because I enjoy the seafood aspect a lot more than you would.
This is true.
Because since you're not a big seafood guy, you would definitely rate it lower, and you're not trying like their signature dishes.
I
that
did
much.
try your shrimp or your lobster there. It was good.
Yeah,
I
with
just
the
have
butter and
I
everything.
have a small threshold for lobster. It's all
Of
it
course,
is, yes.
and Red Lobster, you have to have the
I'll
lobster.
try a little bit.
I
It's
think the
fine. It's
lobster
good.
definitely
Yeah.
brought it up.
I
for me.
agree.
Okay, so you did bring up a good question at the very end, and you kind of stumped me with it.
Would you go back?
So I thought about it on the way here to the car, and I would say this is the type of restaurant I would go something like once a year.
I was just thinking about that too. Actually, once a year is fine.
Once a year is
That's
enough.
enough.
It wouldn't be something I would come back or think about all the time.
It would be like just randomly, like let's. It would be like It would be like just all for
Maybe-
random. Like it'd be like maybe like a cold winter day or something. Like you know what? I want some biscuits. And some
Yes,
shit and like
some
some
cold temperature where biscuits would
temperature,
warm
biscuit
you
would
up.
warm you up. And you know, you want lobster, you want some kind of decent seafood that's not gonna break the bank. Cause the final bill, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that
It
bad.
was surprisingly not bad. We got what? a side dish, 2 different sides, and you
Mm-hmm.
had big surf and turf in my pasta. And usually pasta and steak and lobster and all that kind of stuff. It tends to be more expensive.
Less than $80 for
than
everything,
$80.
and if you take out the surf and turf, it'd be about
It'd be $40.
$40, and that would be plenty for a meal. So value is definitely there.
Value's there. You get good value for the price,
Mm-hmm.
and the quality is there for what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a tiny bit more. I don't know. I think it's
So
pretty good. Yeah.
I think it exceeded expectations
Yes,
for me.
I was surprised.
Mhm.
I was surprised.
Um,
Because usually
so-
chain restaurants are kind of, it can be a
Yeah,
little
they're
iffy.
hit and miss,
Yeah, it
but
can be hit and
I
miss.
think Red Lobster is in the slightly upper
I think so.
echelon of chain restaurants.
Because you just pay more.
Yes.
You just naturally pay more. So if you go to a restaurant and you know you pay more, for the most part, you get what you pay for. For the most part.
Okay.
All right, well.
So this is the end of our review. I think we're both craving something sweet right now.
Yes.
So you might see a follow-up review of like some ice cream or
some,
something.
some bullshit. And the next review is me sticking shit on the toilet again.
Oh, do you want to give your bathroom
Ah,
review?
bathroom reviews. Bathroom reviews. A side project. I'll call it.
Toilet Town.
Toilet Town. I'll call it. Shit. I have to
Give
think
it a
about
good
this
name.
one.
We can sleep on it, and you'll find a name next time.
Shit. Toilets and me.
Toilets and me.
So it's about me in the toilet. I don't know.
Is that like a children's book or something you want to make
yeah,
up
sure.
soon?
It'll be a children's fucking story. I would say it's your general chain, higher end bathroom, like what you expect from like a toilet from like a Denny's or maybe an IHOP or a fucking Red Lobster or Red Robin. You know, kind of, they're all about the same. It has the smell of cleaners. They know they clean it. It's not dirty. There's no piss all over the place. Toilet's fine. Toilet bowl's clean. I said my rating earlier privately, but I gave it 3 toilet papers and 1 bar of soap out of 5 rolls of toilet paper.
That's some good praise right
It's
there.
a comfortable place to shit and pee, and that's about it. If it's comfortable, it's an automatic.
Was
3
it a
place.
private single stall or like multiple?
It
people
was your
can come in?
general stall. Oh, there's 1 handicap and 1 regular and 1 urinal.
So multiple people can go in there, or just
Yes,
you?
multiple
Okay.
people.
Oh, that's
3 persons at one time.
small.
2 shitters and 1 urinal. So,
Okay.
That's actually
okay.
that's the important part of the review too. How many people can fit in the bathroom? Oh man, I'm not.
3 at once isn't
What did I
too
say?
bad.
I said 3 toilet rolls and 1 bar of soap.
Yes.
Was that right? All right, 3 rolls of toilet paper, 1 bar of soap, and 2 sheets of paper towels for your hands. Because that's also important as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that wraps it up for Red Lobster. I think that was a good segment. I think next time we'll go to a more non-known place
Yeah.
and see how we go from there.
Dive in deep, baby.
Dive in deep. All right. Signing out
From the Squid Boys.
from the Squid Kids.
The